Hey everybody, happy Thursday. I'm just looking to see if I have something to clean my glasses with in here. Lordy, lordy. So how's everybody doing? It is Thursday. It was a beautiful day out today. And we are playing with the Zany Zoo bundle. If you recall, I don't even know. Oh yeah, here it is. On Monday, we did this card and I stuck with the same stamp set. Hey, Margaret. And the same colors. Ugh, let me just get some tape and tape my mat down so it doesn't shift all over. And we are going to be watercoloring. If you weren't with us on Monday, like I said, it is a different way to watercolor to make it look as if it is highlight. Hey, do shadows are created and just a tint of color on our images. All right, so let's start with this little alligator or crocodile, whichever he is. And we are going to start with a basic white. And I hope all my pieces are here. I came in a little earlier and everything came out of my envelope. So let me just make sure I have everything here. Oh, here they are. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we have our crocodile, hey Fran, or our alligator. And we are going to start with a basic white layer of 11 by 4 1/4. Hopefully my video doesn't look so jumpy tonight, and hopefully it looks clear. For me, I need new glasses, so it looks really fuzzy. So hopefully it doesn't look fuzzy for you guys. All right, so our 11 by 4 1/4. Let me just make sure that is straight. Okay. And then we are going to grab a layer of basic white. I'll make sure I have the right ones. And we are going to add this to the front of the card, and it's 5 1/4 by 4. And I'm just going to glue this because we're going to add another layer to the basic white. I usually don't like using glue for the basic white because you can see the glue through it. But since we're going to be covering this, whoops, we'll be okay. All right, so we're just going to layer this down. And I just do this because it makes it look a little bit more finished. And I'm just looking. Let me just see if I can trim this a little bit. There we go. Hey, Kathy. You paused the video? Oh, boy. All right. Now we're going to take another layer of basic white. And this one is 5 1/8 by 3 3/4. And we're going to take strips of Coastal Cabana and Melon Mambo. And we're going to lay these out onto this layer. And I'm going to just lay them out first to get an idea if we have them spaced correctly. I can always trim it when we're done. We just want to get these on here so we have the spacing right. That's okay. Because as you can see, now I have it off just a little bit. So we're going to just move these up just to get an idea. And like I said, I will trim it when I'm finished. But we just want to get these on here. And see how much space I need between them. All right. Okay, so that'll be the front. Hey, it's almost like the floating frame that we did, but I'm not doing it with acetate. I'm just doing it on a basic white card. And we just want to make sure we get it even, at least on one end. Then this way, like I said, I'm just going to take it and trim it off. So we're just going to lay these down, making sure we have them on there straight. Me and my puzzles, right? Seems like I always have lots of pieces on my card. Well, this is great when you can't decide. And I'm just going to move these off now that I have it started. When you can't decide what color you want for the front of your card, you can use both. So how's everybody doing today? Good? We went grocery shopping today. I can't even say it was grocery shopping. We went to the grocery store today. And it was a store that I've only been in once before. So I don't really know the store. And I'm the type of shopper where when I go into the grocery store, I know each and every aisle and can zoom through to get everything I want. Well, that didn't happen today. It was a tough call, let me tell you. All right, so there's our pieces. Hey, Karen, I'm just going to trim this off a little bit. Just see. Just going to trim this one edge a little tiny bit. All right, so it's straight all the way down. And I just remember, let me see where my other stamp set is. I forgot that. Oh, here it is. All right. So now we're just going to take this layer that we just created and we're going to add it to the front of the card. Okay. Just get it on there straight. So easy peasy. And it's the camera, it just still looks so funny. I don't know what it is. That looks better. All right, so there is our card front. The only thing is I have to now grab my stamp that says something great to celebrate, and it's you. And I'm going to stamp that right here on the bottom of the card. I could have done this before doing all of this. I'm just going to, but I do have the sticker on it, and it's actually on there properly. So we're going to hold our breath and stamp it down. All right. So that's where our sentiment is. Hey, Kathy. Next, I die cut a deckled circle, and this is about 2 3/4. And then I cut a basic white deckled circle, which is 2 1/2. And we're actually going to stamp this circle with the Celebrate stamp from Circle of Sayings. And I'm just going to pick this up. And we're going to stamp it with Coastal Cabana. And let's see if I have my, here it is right here. So let's ink it up. And we're just going to stamp this right on our circle. And then we're going to take our circle and add them on top of one another. All right. And then I'm going to pop it up right onto the front of the card. Then this way we can start our watercoloring. Actually, yeah, we can. I'll turn it. I'm going to wait so we can get our alligator or crocodile, whatever you want to call him. I already did stamp him. That's fine. You're always welcome, late or early. And I actually stamped him with Memento on the thick basic white cardstock. We are going to watercolor, and I have my basic black, Granny Apple Green, Melon Mambo, and Bermuda Bay. Okay. And I also want to grab one more. I want to grab the Old Olive. And you could do this on the watercolor paper, but I wanted to try it in the basic white thick, and it works very nicely. So instead of coloring the image completely, we'll add our shadow areas and use the water painter to spread the pencil, okay? So, and you want to make sure you put enough color that you have your shadow and you can pull some of that color to fill in the rest of the image. So you'll notice, let me see if I can move my camera down without, there we go. So you'll notice I'm just adding color where I want my shadow. And I'm making sure I'm putting down a good amount of the pencil. And I'm going to use that for the bicycle. And I'm going to go along now and add some blue to the flowers. And I'm going right around the center, adding my color. And like I said, I want to make sure I'm adding enough color that I'll be able to spread it around. I'm going to do the leaves. Here's another flower. All right. And I'm going to grab my water painter, and let's do those before we do the crocodile or alligator. All right. So we're going to just grab our water painter and we're going to just pull that color up right from where you made it the darkest and do it to fill in whatever you want to watercolor. And what happens is you have that dark spot, and I just ran out of water. You have that dark spot, and you're just pulling that color down, and it highlights the area and also gives you, oh, you missed some, you were putting the baby to bed. So it looks like it is highlighted and colored. So we're going to do the flowers, pull from the inside out, and I'm doing each individual petal. All right. So then we have our flowers. Just quick and easy. Now for the alligator, first I'm going to use my basic gray, and I'm going to add some shadow. So I'm going to come under his neck. Okay. We're going to come under this arm. And I'm going to come under his tail. Just like that. Then I'm going to grab some old olive. And I'm actually going to color his, I don't even know what these are called on his back. I was going to call them fins, but they're not fins. I'm coloring these in completely, and I'm not going to watercolor them. I'm going to leave them green, and this is old olive green. All right, so it's just a little bit of old olive. Then we're going to add some old olive, and I might have used Granny Apple Green. So I'm going to do the old olive, and then I'm going to put some Granny Apple Green there. And then I'm going to do the same thing to his belly. And this is Granny Apple Green and the old olive. All right. And we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to pull that color to add some color to our dinosaur, to our crocodile, our dinosaur. So we're just adding some color. Because we just want a touch of color. I'm going to come over here and just come over that where we added our shadow to ease it up a little bit. And it looks like spikes. Thank you, Dew. That's what it is. So the color is still there. It's washed out by my light for some reason. And then I didn't do it on the card that I have, but I'm going to just pull some green down his back. And then again, pull that color just to give him a little bit of color. All right. So we just want a hint of color. So we're going to pull in our circle. And I want to get him on here so we at least see one complete celebrate. And let's pop him up. So when you watercolor, you don't necessarily have to color in the image completely. You can just highlight your colors and make it nice and easy. Let's see if we got him on here straight. We want to see that one celebrate at least. All right. And then we can add our dimensionals. Wrong card. Grab the other card and stick this right on the front of our card. I'm looking at the bicycle because I want the bicycle to at least be straight. Okay. I'm going to grab a piece of paper, and I wasn't sure what ribbon to use, so I have some soft sea foam here. I don't remember what ribbon I used on my original card. Usually I put everything together And for some reason, tonight I didn't. All right, so I'm going to just grab some soft sea foam. And we're going to color it up. Just want to grab my scissors. And we're going to color it with Melon Mambo. And I'm going to use, I'm going to use the dark. This is the great thing about our ribbon. All we have to do is color it. And it matches our card. I'm not sure how much I'm going to need. And I may need to just let it dry for a minute. A little bit more. So let's just let that dry. Trim that off. And I'm just going to let it dry for a second. Pull our card back in. I have some iridescent rhinestones here. I'm going to pick a large one. I'm going to stick it, oops, under that deckled circle. And then we'll take one and put it here. And one over here. And look, I didn't do the inside. So for the inside, I just decided we were going to do something quick and easy because I forgot to do the inside. So we have a matte layer that is 5 1/4 by 4 and a basic white layer that is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. And I'm just going to put a bit of glue, whoops, and some Melon Mambo. Get it on there straight. And then I have to try to get it to match a little bit to the other card. I have some designer series paper. That is the Zany Zoo paper. I'm just going to color in the leaves because we colored the leaves on the flowers in the basket. So it matches those flowers. I'm just going to color some of these in. I don't know how far I have to go. That should be good. And we'll just add a line of glue. So it's all about just a touch of color. All right, so it's flush with the end. You can trim this off with your scissors or your trimmer. Let's pull our card back in and we'll put this in and then we can tie. Whoops, I shouldn't have used the glue. Hopefully we won't see it. Oh, that's right. It goes on the mat. Phew. Must be losing my mind. So is everybody doing anything? Hey, Sheila, you just got home. I hope it was a good day. All right. And we're going to just lay this in here. All right, so that's our inside. Let me pull this back up now. And then we'll tie our bow. And this looks like the ribbon that I used. Thank goodness. And I cut it a little short, so I usually use my picky tool to grab that tail. You want to make sure that that knot in the center is tight. My loops are crooked, so I can actually pull on the loop on the right. Let me just get this so we get it right. And we can make that loop smaller. To make this one smaller, we can pull on the tail. But you just want to make sure that, there we go. You want to make sure that that knot stays nice and tight. I'm just going to pull my tails down. I've been having such a time with my bows lately. I don't know what it is. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. All right, let's grab a glue dot. And we'll just add this right under his tail. Get that out of the way. And there is card 1. Just a quick and easy. See, I put a little bit more green in him tonight than I did. And the bow, this one is light melon mambo. And this one I did in dark melon mambo. Okay. So there is something quick and easy that you can use your water painters with. Now for the second card, let me see what I did with it. We have our little raccoon, and I actually didn't even score my card base. So let's do that now. And we have a card base that is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4.25. Now I should have turned it this way, but I did another portrait card. I'm going to pull this up just a little. All right. Now again, we're going to layer it up and just make sure I have the correct layers here. And they're both the same. So this time I'm going to layer it up with the Coastal Cabana. And this is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then I have a layer of basic white, 5 1/4 by 4. And we are going to first stamp our basic white layer. And I'm going to grab that Coastal Cabana ink again. Okay. And I am going to grab my happy birthday to you. But I am first going to clean it so we don't get a dirty inked stamp. All right, that's good. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm taking the happy birthday to you, and I am just going to stamp it all over this basic white layer, turning it, stamping, just to fill in some space. Okay, let's just do one right here. So just quick and easy. And then I'm going to grab the Melody embossing folder. Yeah, I like the more green too, do. And I'm going to take my layer, and you know that I'm going to turn it this way. This is the front where the logo is. So we're going to put our layer in with the front that we want to see on the side of the logo. Line it up with that line, and we're going to run it through the cut and emboss machine. So give me 2 seconds. Get my sandwich right. Hopefully it embossed pretty good. And it did. All right. So now we have the songs and the notes, yeah, it would be perfect, the SP, on our layer. So let's pull our card back in, make sure it opens the right way, and we can add some glue. I don't mind adding glue to a basic white embossed layer because of the embossing. You don't really see it. And I should have checked. Let me just trim this a little. You know, when you emboss, sometimes the layer gets out of whack. So we just needed to trim a little. And then we're just adding some glue. And we're just going to add it to the front of the card. Easy peasy, right? I'm on now. Just like that. All right. Then I use the deckled circles again. This time using the Melon Mambo. And these are the 2 1/8. And I have 3. Okay. And then I cut out the designer series paper for this bundle. And I guess it's actually called Zoo Crew Designer Series paper. And I have my layers, and instead of watercoloring, I am just going to grab, I think I have Granny Apple Green, that's Lemon Lime Twist. Dark Granny Apple Green, and I have my Melon Mambo. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to color the centers of these flowers with the Melon Mambo, and it's dark. Using the same thought that we're just going to do a touch of color, because we can let the cardstock be the thing that gives us all our color. And we're just going to color in our leaves. And one more. They're little tiny leaves, so you really just need to swoosh that color in. All right, so just a little bit of color, just like that. So let's grab our circles. We're going to adhere them. This one, I am just going to grab, let's see where my little, here it is. I'm just going to grab a blending brush. And let me just see. Got to grab my Melon Mambo. I'm going to grab some Melon Mambo. We're just going to ink it up. And I'm just going to ink this black and white layer with some Melon Mambo. Okay, so now we can add our designer series paper to our circles. And I'm just adhering them. I keep shifting to the right for some reason. And one more. All right, so there are our circles. Now the larger circles, like I said, are 2 1/8. The smaller ones are 1 3/4, and these are the deckled circles. And then we have our little raccoon. I'm going to pull in. They are cute. And we're going to add a touch of color once again. So we're going to grab that Melon Mambo, and I'm just going to add some Melon Mambo to the bottom of the balloon. Now, if I thought I should have something under me that's a little bit harder. Let's put this under, because the cushion is pushing down on the paper. So I'm going to add my color just to the bottom of the balloon. Melon Mambo. And this is actually Bermuda Bay. And we're just doing the bottom of the balloons. Right? And then we have to do the raccoon. So for his mask, I have some basic black. And I'm just going to go along the bottom of the mask. And then with the basic gray, I'm going to come under his neck, his arm. Let's go over his arm. So I'm just adding all the places there would be a shadow. And then I am going to add just a little bit more. All right. So starting with the balloons, same concept. You want to just pull that color up, and you want to make sure that you have enough water to start with so it doesn't start and stop. Okay, let me just get another bit of water. I'm squeezing it over on my floor so I don't get it all over. All right, so we're just pulling that color up, and it creates its own highlight. Just want to clean my brush, go into the next color, and we want to pull that color up. So it's a quick and easy way to color your images. Makes you look like an artist. Okay. Now for his shadows, we're just going to pull that color down. That arm. And then we have his little mask. Going to avoid his eyes. I'm just going to pull that color right up. I'm just going to do it on his ear. Okay. Let's do his tail. So instead of having to worry about it looking funny, watercoloring just adds a bit of color. So it's not stark white, right? Just quick and easy. How cute is he, right? He's adorable. So let's move this back up. and bring our card back in. So I'm going to actually adhere the 2 deckled circles with the flowers. I just want to get it pretty centered. I should center myself, right? Pretty centered on the front of the card. And then this one. And you want to remember that this is embossed, so you'll have to use a good amount of glue. Thanks, Sheila. And then for the center one, we are going to pop this up. And the reason I use the Swiggles designer series paper instead of any of the other black and white on the back side is because it looked like the strings on a balloon. So we're just going to sit this right in the center. That looks okay. And then we're going to grab our little raccoon. Add some dimensionals. And add him right to the center of the card. And before we add our embellishments, let's color some ribbon again so it has a moment to dry. Don't really want to have all this ink on my finger because I'll end up ruining the basic white. All right, so we can let that dry. Let's grab some embellishments. And let's put a medium right about here. Let's put one, whoops, here. And then we'll put a little one right about here. So he's cute, right? Thanks, Karen. Kind of looks like a bumblebee. Yeah, have you seen the new Bumblebee set suite? It's an online exclusive, and I cut the ribbon too short again. It is just they're so cute. I think I'll have to create with them next week. All right, so quick bow. Check my loops. They look pretty even. We put out some of those inflatable pumpkins, and I can hear the motor right in my craft room here. Thankfully, it's not too loud. All right. And just add our bow. How cute is that? Cute, right? Just a little sweet. Yeah, I love the raccoon too. He's a sweetie. Now for the inside, believe it or not, I really did remember the inside of this card. I have some Coastal Cabana 5 3/8 by 4 1/8 and basic white 5 1/4 by 4. And we are going to grab some Memento. And I am going to grab, let me get a small little block here, the musical notes right here. Oops, it's not even on the thing. These little musical notes. And drifting off to the right again. And I am just going to add these musical notes right up the right hand side. Okay. And if you see where I misstamped, I'm just going to grab a black marker. I'm just going to go over that to darken it so it doesn't look like a mistake. And I colored the turtle the same exact way that I have colored the other ones, okay? And we're just going to add some glue. He's actually whistling a tune. And we're going to sit him right here. How's that? So let's grab our mat. I am not going to use the glue this time. I'm going to use the seal. So he's perfect for the inside because now he's whistling happy birthday to you. Just like the front of the card says, right? So let's add this to the center. And there is card number 2. Yeah, right? The circles, that doesn't look bad. So different, right? All right. So now we have this cute little pizza box. And I'm going to untie it. Believe it or not, I tied that bow by wrapping it. And I don't usually do that. But this little pizza box is actually holding a cute little gummy pizza. How cute is that? So it's got our ribbon, and it's a cute little pizza box. So before we even start, let's get our ribbon. I'm going to do our ribbon so it has time to dry. And then we'll pull out the measurements for that cute little box. We want to make sure this is dry so it doesn't ruin our cardstock. How great is this that we can color our ribbon to match our project, right? I believe this ribbon is not available anymore, but I have from one of my craft box months, I have extra. So, all right, so we're going to let that dry. So let's look at my fingers. Let's clean these fingers before I touch that basic white paper. Because you know me. So the pizza box is very simple to create. All right. I have it right here. Get our pieces. So we are going to start with, and that is wrong already. I made a mistake. Let's just see. What did I do wrong? I said 6.5. That's not right. Should be 7. All right. Misstep. So we have a piece that's 7.5 by 4. And we're going to score the 7.5 inch side at 1/2, 3.5, 4, and 7. Then we're going to turn it and we're going to score it at 1/2 and 3.5. Okay, so that is our score lines. I'm going to make sure that I do not fold it on that misstep. We'll make that the bottom. All right, so we fold and burnish. Now we have to decide what side we want for the top and what we want for the bottom. I'm going to use this for the bottom of my box because that's where I put the wrong score line. Where did I get that? Aldi. Aldi? No. It was we have a store here called Smart Shopper. It's a Mennonite store, and it's almost like an Aldi. And they had them, I think they were like 3 for $1. And I only bought them to make the pizza box. I won't eat them because I mean, when it comes to gummy bears, they're not my favorite. Now, if it was chocolate, that'd be a different story. All right, so I want this to be the bottom of my box. So I want my tabs to come in and create a completely nice, solid bottom. Okay, and what do I mean by that? Let's open this up. The bottom is a complete square where this has our flap. Okay, just like a pizza box. So we're going to use this as our flap. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut it, and then I am going to cut it like this. And there's my tab. And then I want the tab on here also. So we're just going to fold this in. And I like to cut my score lines out. So now this will come and fold in. And then we have our lid. And then we have to do the same thing here. But our tab is going to be right here. So there's one. And this is my miss score. That score line should not be there. That was my mistake. But we're going to run with it, okay? All right, so we can glue or we could use our seal. And I think what I'll do is pull this in. Let's use the seal. And we don't have to worry about holding it and worrying about that glue. Oh, I think this is empty. It is. So we'll do this one. So we're just going to add some seal to our tab. I'm going to do it on this one too. And turn it around. All right. So then we're just going to fold in and pull up our side. And then this, for the back of the box, we're just going to pull it up. And pull it up, making sure that the edge is even with that corner. I'm just going to make sure that's adhered. All right. So there's the bottom of our pizza box. This little area here, I'm just going to cut it at an angle so it's not so pointy. And then we need to make our tabs for this side. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to cut the tab this way so we don't see that corner as bad. So we're just tabbing it out. And grab our seal. And then this way, the front edge, you don't really see that open corner. Okay? The open corner is on the side. So let's just fold that in. And then we have our pizza box. I should have used heavier cardstock with this. All right, so there is our pizza box. You can tab it out if you want with a circle punch, but I layered it up. I have some Coastal Cabana 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and we're going to adhere this to the top of the box. All right. So next we need our ribbon. So the ribbon is going to go down next. And if you want to hold it in place, oh, Bill's in there serenading again. He must be feeling better because he wasn't today. And we're just going to lay that down just to hold that in place. Okay. Then I have a piece of Melon Mambo. And this is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And we are going to pop this up. If I can find my dimensionals. All right, so we're going to pop this up on the top of the box. I'm just going to stand up so I can get it on here straight. All right, so there is the top. I'm just looking. Oh, there she is. All right. So then I have a piece of basic white. And this is 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. Now the Zany Zoo dies that coordinate with this set has a die that looks like curtains on a stage. Okay. And I am going to grab the Coastal Cabana curtains. And I'm going to add some glue. And I'm going to line it up. And I'm going to line it up at the top. And I want it to go right to the edge. All right. Just like that. I'm going to pull this in so it doesn't adhere to my table. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. And I want to line it up with the edge, and I want it to touch the edge on the top. So I'm just going to push it like that. Okay, so we're creating our stage. Then I have the pink piece, and I am going to add some adhesive. And I can add more glue if I need. But I want to line up the center of this curtain onto the center of this piece of cardstock. And I want it to be right up at the top. All right, just like that. So we created our little stage. As this is drying, we want to trim this off now. And again, scissors or trimmer. And we want to just flush with this basic white. Get rid of these pieces so we don't get glue all over. Oops. So there is our little stage. Now I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap paper here, because you can see my little curtain is coming up. So let's just grab some scrap. We're going to just put it under. Same thing on this side. We're just going to slip it under. Just like that. Piece of glue. All right, so there's our stage. They are from the Zany Zoo, guys. It goes with the Zany Zoo stamp set. Whoops. It looks just like this. Cute, right? This set comes with little Christmas trees and balloons. I haven't even used, and you can see what a mess they are. I haven't even used hardly any of them. It's just such a cute little set. You could be die cutting forever. There's a little vase. All right, so we're going to use the little ballerina, and I already colored her. And I used the basic gray, I used the melon mambo, and I did the Bermuda Bay. So we're going to just grab some dimensionals. And we're going to stick her right in the center of the stage. Let's grab a dimensional. I'm going to use a gem. I'm going to put it right there in the center of her stage. Pull our box back in. And we're going to pop this up onto the box also. I wish there was a way we could catalog what was in each die set, because there are some sets that, you know, they have really nice shapes. All right, so we're just going to lay this on the front of our box, and then we can tie our bow. And I'm sure it's not going to come out like the one I did, because I probably fussed around with it for a long time. But I did give myself plenty of extra ribbon. So let's pull. I want to keep my let's cut our tails. I'm just going to fix that bow a little bit. All right. So Here's our little gift box. Here's our raccoon. And here's our little gator. So if you'd like these make and takes, just place a $35 order in my online store using that host code on the screen, and I will send you the make and takes for these 3 cards. Don't forget about the promotion special. Just for $99, you can get $168 worth of product just for becoming a demonstrator, and I support business builders and hobby demonstrators. You can use it just like a Costco discount, or you can get your $125 worth of product for $68. So it's up to you. Hey, Cindy, thank you. So here are tonight's cards. Like I said, if you'd like these make and takes, just spend $35 in my store. And I will be back tomorrow with our Fun Fold Friday. And you know what? I'm just wondering if I have my card ready for tomorrow. I hope so. So thanks for joining me tonight. And I'll see you at 10 tomorrow. Have a great rest of your night. Bye-bye.